Yeah, mic check 1 2. Full Blast Radio, we in the building. Tuesday, 7 o'clock. On the line and on the screen, I have my good brother that I've known for many years. I want to say how long, tell me how old I am, but y'all already know I'm old, so it's all good. My brother Ralo, Strong Island representative,
Yes,
OffTheCorner.net. What's good, my brother?
peace and power, bro. How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you, man. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, likewise.
How's everything going with the family, first and foremost?
Everything's going well. Everything's going well. Nobody's showing any symptoms. You know, when you see people now and you say, how you doing, that's not a throwaway question anymore, you know?
Yeah. Just a break the ice thing. You really want to make sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a different day and time now when it comes to that, you know?
Yeah, definitely different day, man. So I know we touched base over the weeks ago about what you've been doing, and well, just tell the people a little bit about you and off the corner, and shoot, even like because I told them, like, when I first started doing like the streaming, when I was on one station, Lat Lounge, we started our own on a few stations, Mixed Bully, Strong Island. We did our own at my apartment. So we've been kind of dibbling dabbling over the years, doing these
Absolutely.
shows now they be called podcasts.
Right.
So
And so if I could jog your memory, I think the first time you were on radio, FM radio, and I brought you on to do a Little George show.
yes indeed.
Long time ago.
Yes,
That was
RP, Little George. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I actually talked to Sam about that. Yup. So
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
That was your first experience on radio.
Yes.
And we actually had to bring you back the following week because you forgot to adapt to the plug in the mix for the first time.
Yup. Oh shoot, I forgot that. See, I remember the something. I think the needle skipped or something, and George was like, don't worry about it, it's cool. And I was just remember, like, his demeanor, man. He was just a good dude. His demeanor, everything. You know what I mean? I just remember, like,
Absolutely.
he was like, oh man, this dude's trash or whatever, this and that. Nah, he was like, nah, it's cool. So yeah, man. That was out in West Hampton, right?
That was in Southampton, actually.
Okay.
It was at LIU, and that was your first radio experience. And now you got your own network. So check that out.
Yeah, man. Flash forward years later, and
yes.
Thing with Full Blast, and I mean, you've seen the journey. We've been always linking up, doing different things, and it's dope to like come full circle and still be in touch, even though it's been a while, but just still to everyone on that same mindset of the real hip hop, and because we've talked about it all the time,
Most definitely, yeah. Speaking of real hip hop, AZ got something new out.
Yes, yeah. I saw it.
I don't know if you saw that.
He dropped it, I think, at midnight, the other day.
Something like that. It's like 2 days ago, maybe.
Yeah, I heard the track. Yeah, it was a dope track, man. AZ still
good stuff.
Still doing his thing. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. So yeah, I've done a Little George show. That was like my first experience doing broadcast media.
Mm-hmm.
Subsequent to that, I did BringTheNoise.com.
Yeah.
That was Chuck V's website, because
Yeah.
he was one of the first people to like really start trying to innovate when it came to internet radio.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. That kind of spun into a public access show, and I did some television, some radio, and some things over the years.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I've been pretty busy, and then we've done, like you said, Mixed Bully, ArambeRadio.com,
Arambe, that's right.
StrongIsland.com.
Yes.
Right. So we got our share of experience. It's cool, but
Yeah, definitely. And I know, like, we grew up, Green Lawn, Huntington, and you've been on the scene with me, DJing, and I know I did a party at your house too, I think, one time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the house parties, yeah.
So
basement parties. That was when you could actually have parties at your house. You can't do that anymore.
Nah. Yeah, because like strangers and stuff like that. That's why I didn't even think about that. We actually had house parties, and most of the people you knew, but it was really open to the public.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that whole neighborhood team. There was one, I think it was two that you did. It was in Huntington by the water tower. I don't know if you remember that. It was two parties we did.
Oh, wow.
Years ago. We was in high school then at that point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is familiar.
You don't remember everything.
Yeah.
That's funny.
First lady, she's part of Full Blast Tribe. Like, she was one of the first people that, started listening to Full Blast. So now, we got our own tribe with Full Blast Tribe. There's friends, supporters that support Full Blast, and she's one of the moderators too. Everyone you see in blue is a moderator and part of Full Blast Tribe. Yeah.
Big up.
She wanted to know, have you ever worked with Deb Coco from Harlem?
No, that doesn't sound familiar. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she had. I remember I did they had like an open mic with Ralph McDaniels on a Sunday, and she got me to like go down there and spin. So I was like spinning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, took a picture with Ralph, and yeah, it was real cool. Yeah.
And I was here in New York.
Yeah, that's when I was still in New York. Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, shout out to Deb Coco, man. Yeah, she be doing her thing.
Did that make the TV show?
It was, I don't know if he put it on his channel. I can't remember, but I know it was like they had a like every Sunday type thing with, MCs, and obviously it was, you had to really be an MC. It wasn't no BS rappers that were down there, And it was the segment they had that they were doing like a showcase. And she was doing it, and he was hosting it, so it was nice. It was pretty cool. It was like during the day, on a Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, of course, as you know, I've added author to the list.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see the book.
Yes, Fundamental African-Centered Thought. Fact. First, I want to say congratulations on the book, bro. I know,
Thank you.
we've been talking about this for a while. Have you, before we get into it, have you converted it to, I know you said you were going to do a digital or I forgot what they call it.
Kindle.
The Kindle, yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on that now. That hasn't been developed yet, but I'm working on it now. I'm also working on an audio book as well.
The audio book, that's right. Yeah.
And we got Sam Sun recording a music soundtrack for it as well.
Yes, he told me too. Yeah, shout out to Sam Sun.
Yeah, so the music is going to correspond with the book, and it's going to be boom bap, so it's going to be something to look forward to.
Oh, yeah. Good, brother, I heard the track you did. Like, I didn't know you did the track, and you did the track
on
his mix. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, that was, I've been working. I did that for Sam, and that's going to be on the soundtrack.
Yeah, man, big up to you. I want to show you this right here, what I found. Neighborhood Vernacular.
Funny. Yeah, big up to everybody that was on it. That was, I think it was 13 different spoken word artists on it.
13, yeah, intro and outro, yeah, 13.
I did some production on it. Ace International did most of the production and most of the tracks. So that turned out really good.
Yeah, I definitely want to, I'm going to burn this to the computer and showcase this.
Nice, dope.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So, tell me about the book, man. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely gonna cop it and support. I want you to tell me about the book, and then later on you can like show me the right direction where I can find it. Amazon can send a link to everybody.
Got it. Okay, well the book is called FACT, which stands for Fundamental African-Centered Thought. Mm-hmm. The subtitle is Lessons and Solutions for African People. And it's a list of 10 different lessons that kind of explain a lot of things that we were never taught in school. So if we could be honest, as people of African heritage, we've always gotten a full orientation into European-centered culture that basically stripped us of our identity as African people and robbed us of our cultural dignity. So every noteworthy accomplishment we ever learned about was achieved by people of European origin. Mm-hmm. And so, we were never taught the origin of humanity. We never thought about all these achievements that, people of African heritage managed to achieve and contribute to society.
Yeah.
So that's always been downplayed. I think understanding and knowing your history is just a basic part of human dignity.
Exactly.
So we were never really taught that.
Mm-hmm.
So the book touches on a lot of different things. It touches on history, it touches on economics, it touches on the importance of language. As people of African heritage in America, we're the only people here that don't have a language to ourselves. That only we speak. So, you have Chinese and Korean, they speak Chinese and Korean. Indian people speak Urdu, Hindi, Sanskrit, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Have the Latinos speak Spanish. Who else? You have the Jews speak either Yiddish or Hebrew. Mm-hmm. Everyone has their own language here except for the, people of African heritage. So it touches on the importance of language. I talk about Pan-Africanism, Black nationalism. I touch on a lot of different subjects. So I just put it like in a lesson form. And then now it's like a lot of people are more homeschooling now. And so, people want to supplement their homeschooling with this sort of information that gives the child, feeling of self-worth and pride about themselves. And this is like the perfect book for that.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I had a speaker on, and he talked about that as well. And yeah, it's crazy how it's important that we don't, like, we're the only ones that don't have that. And to me, it shows like what's going on with our people like today, like how it just seems like a big faction of us are so lost. You know what I mean? Like look what we're doing, in the streets, and it's to me it's like evil and demonic. Like, I don't know how you can think to do that to another person of your own color, but yet when you're supposedly like the real enemy, you won't even think to do that to.
Exactly. So it's like we always got smoke for each other. When we saw the racially bigoted police killing of black people, it's not the same response. You know what I mean? So that's true. And I could tell you a story. Years ago, I was with a friend of mine. He was Hispanic, and we were at IHOP. And the person that came to take our order, she was Hispanic. I don't know if she was, Dominican, Puerto Rican, or whatever. And he started to give his order in English, and then he asked her before she left the table if she spoke Spanish. He gave the rest of his order in Spanish. And then they spoke. She had a few words before she walked away from the table. And then after she walked away, he said, "Did you see what I just did?" And I said, "Yes," not really thinking much of it. And he said, if you're Hispanic in America, you meet other Spanish people. If you don't speak Spanish, like, they consider you as a sellout. And so I saw how a language could connect two people that were complete strangers. These people didn't know each other, before, they met at the restaurant. But because they spoke the same language, they had a bond and a connection. And as African people, we don't have that, So the book is talking about the importance of learning an African language, like Swahili, which is the most widely spoken African language on the continent of Africa, and it's also the most widely spoken language outside of the continent of Africa in the world. So we're going to pick one practical African language that we can learn, and we'll have to Swahili. So the book talks about all of this.
Wow, that's dope. Yeah. And when did you release the book? When was this?
The book just came out in, what month is it now? December?
Yeah.
So maybe, let me think.
About a week?
October, maybe?
Oh, October, okay.
October?
Okay.
So it just dropped. I had to make some corrections. I kind of had to take it back and then put it back out, so it's back up now.
Okay. And
so it just came out. So.
And it's available, is on Amazon. Is there anywhere else?
As of right now, it's just on Amazon. There will be other outlets to get the book, but as of right now, it's just on Amazon. So
okay.
We're working on some more things.
Okay.
Creating another outlet to move the product,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the first lesson is the salute to the universal African flag, the red, black, and green. That's important because we always been taught to salute the flag of systemic white supremacy in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And lesson number 2 is the Indudo Saba, which people know as the 7 principles of, African heritage. It's kind of always associated with Kwanzaa. And, it just goes on from there. Like I said, it's 10 lessons total. And at the end of each lesson, there's like a review of each lesson. So, for those people that don't make time to sit down and read, you can kind of go through the review at the end of each chapter, and you can still get the gist of what the chapter, is trying to explain. And at the end of each chapter, it talks about what the lesson is and that information and how that serves as a solution also. So it's very educational. That was very deliberate. I did it because I want people to begin to think in a different way, think outside of that European colonial mindset that we taught.
Yeah, because and it shouldn't be an issue with that because, like you said, every other race, they have their own culture, how they do things, and there's no backlash about it. There's no, So why, when we speak about trying to do for self, it's black power, it's white hate? No, it's not. It's not. And to me, that's just an agenda just to keep us further down.
Exactly. I think the 2 greatest perceived threats in the system of white racism and white supremacy is black unity and black self-sufficiency. They fear that more than they fear anything else. So if you try to do anything to your group modeling it after what other groups have done, that becomes a problem. So it's always been an attempt to kind of try to jam up our progress. They, honestly, they didn't bring us here to compete with us economically. You know what I mean? So
Fact.
they still don't want that competition, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And you know, the truth is, you don't want to wake a sleeping giant. I think they understand our potential to achieve. And so you know, they have an issue with that. Not only that, you know, we talk about black nationalism. People always try to compare that to white nationalism, and it's not the same. White nationalism is about hatred, fear, and sometimes even murder of people that don't look like you because they don't look like you. Because of what we went through as people of African heritage, black nationalism is not about hate, it's about love of yourself. But love for yourself and your group does not mean you have contempt for another group. Follow me?
Fact.
So a lot of people, you know, people that don't look like us, they kind of have an issue with that. Any solidarity or any unity among us, they always see it as something subversive and disagreeable. Like, what are you up to and why do you have to do that? I had people ask me over here, why do black people need a channel called BET? You know? And that's because every other channel is WET. They just don't call it that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I mean, the Panthers were infiltrated, you know, when they were trying to,
right.
you know, keep the neighborhood safe from the people. You know, look what it did with the Black Wall Street. Every time we finally had some type of unity that happened, it was destroyed.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's like, again, they don't want to compete. They don't want to compete for, you know, resources, land, wealth, and so forth. So that, you know, they just don't want to see that. So like I said, the greatest fears in the system is black unity and black self-sufficiency. And that's another thing the book really touches on, this idea of self-sufficiency and being able to do for ourselves without help from the larger society. I think that's important. And I think that's the major solution to, you know, a lot of the challenges that we face as a group.
Now, you think it's safe to say that, you know, because, you know, we're talking about educating people that, you know, with this book that want to be educated. You know, there's a lot of people out there that don't have the mindset we have. There's a lot of us that are lost.
That's true, and some people, unfortunately, may be lost beyond reach. So, you know, you're not going to, you know, be able to reach everybody. When we were on the plantation, every enslaved African didn't necessarily want to get free. Some people didn't want to leave the plantation. So that's to say you're not going to get everybody. So you're right, everybody's not going to be on that same page. But the key is not to get everybody, it's just to get critical mass enough that we can be self-sufficient on a nationwide level, socially, politically, and economically.
And affect real change and not just...
Exactly. And I think the key for us is to transform our condition as a group, because we can't rely on the United States government. Hurricane Katrina was 2005, and we couldn't rely on them for anything in that instance, right? We had 9/11. They, you know, people took over airplanes with box cutters, so we couldn't rely on them to defend us against that. Now we got COVID-19. So from 1619 to COVID-19, you know, they've proven that we can't rely on them. So it's time for us now to begin to do things for ourselves and get a measurable degree of self-sufficiency. So, and this is something also I talk about in the book. I was saying that the solution for people of African heritage in America is not going to come from voting Joe Biden. It's not going to come from voting black people to high office, Barack Obama. And it's not going to come from marching and protesting in the streets, Black Lives Matter. So the solution for African people in 21st century America comes when we begin to restore our lost self-sufficiency. When we begin to get self-sufficient control of our basic human survival needs, our food, clothes, shelter, education, medication, and self-defense, then and only then can we really begin to talk about freedom. So we had civil rights movement, Black Power movement, all these movements came and went, and everyone always said, hey, we want our freedom, but we never define what freedom is. Freedom is actually a byproduct of self-sufficiency, meaning you must first have a measurable degree of self-sufficiency from the system of racism and white supremacy in order to have a sense of freedom. So our ultimate goal should be to get that measurable degree of self-sufficiency from the larger society. So you see the Chinese have Chinatown, every major city across the country. New York has the Chinatown, Philadelphia, Washington, Atlanta, Georgia, Detroit, Michigan, Chicago, Illinois, San Francisco, California. Clean across the country, you got Chinatown. So I'm advocating that same model for us. You know, in major cities also now you got popping up Koreatown, and so a lot of those Koreatowns, when you see the stores, the sign above the stores are written in Korean. So you and I obviously are not the target audience for that store. You know what I'm saying? So everyone else is building, and when other groups get on the ground, they immediately look to get an economic footing. Whereas we went through civil rights movement. We marched in protest to sit on a public toilet next to white people. You know what I'm saying? We marched in protest to get the right to vote. We put everything else ahead of economics. So I think it's time now to put economics ahead of everything else, because that's your foundation. You can go out, from there you can go forward, and that as your foundation, when you have the economics in place, then you can really play the game on a high level. Because if you look at politics doesn't exist without wealth. And without wealth, there's no power at all on the world stage. So we got to begin to become entrepreneurs and support one another's businesses and so forth, and get that economic footing straight first. So those are a lot of things that the book talks about.
Yeah, we're quick to, buy, the Gucci and all that, but when it comes to, support this black business, there's none of that, man. We just seem so heavily invested in other things except our own people. It's sad.
That's correct.
It really is. Like, right now, like, my mindset is just like, I just want to, make sure my family safe, my closest friends. We keep that circle, and we just build on that. And if people that are the same mindset are willing to join that without no hidden agendas, that's cool. But like you said, everyone is not going to be safe. That's just the reality of, and it's because they've been so maybe scarred with, living where they live, and it's like get rich or die trying. They really are doing that now. And it's not even, it was just a title, of an album, but you see these young dudes, man, they kill each other like it's nothing, like it's cool to do it,
Yeah, and that's sad.
It is.
We're the only people that do that. The Civil War among us as a group, the Civil War has got to end. And I think that begins with education. When you get the proper knowledge and understanding of yourself, your history, then you have greater sense of self-esteem and self-worth. You wouldn't be looking at people that look like you to take them out. Have a problem with them. So it's funny. It's like we always got smoke for each other, but when the beats come on the block, everybody runs. So you're not really a tough guy. You're a tough guy when it comes to be a tough to your own. You know what I mean? When the authority comes, then everybody runs. So we got to stop the Civil War.
That's a fact.
I think that begins with education, and cultural education is important too. Because we've been taught everybody else's culture. I think it's interesting that children in school, especially black children, they know everyone else's history and culture, but they don't know their own history and culture.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's a major part of the problem, like this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I remember, when you're in school, and it's like every time I hated history because the only thing they talked about was slaves.
Right. That's where your history began.
And I'm that young, and so I'm not having someone telling me that, there's more to our history than that. I don't have no one telling me that. So I'm just going along with, being in school and studying, and then you get out years later, you like, wait a minute, that's all they taught us? Like, this is all we was just thought about? It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, well, they're not going to tell you that, humanity began with African people, and that African people gave civilization and humanity to the world. And no other group wouldn't exist if it were not for the Africans. They would never tell you that. And this is things that I touched on in my book. They teach you in school that it's the European that civilized the Africans, when it was really the other way around. The Africans civilized the Europeans.
Definitely.
This whole period in history. Yeah, this whole period in history that they refer to as the Renaissance was brought on by what African people thought the Europeans. So they talk about the Renaissance, but they never told you what brought about the Renaissance. So yeah, all that history is always being swept under the rug. But with the advent of the digital age and the age of information, my hope is that we can begin to get some of this information out there. We can begin to change the mind and ultimately transform the condition of our group. I think that's important.
Definitely, man. And briefly, tell people once again where you can get the book, the title of the book, and where the book can be purchased.
Okay, the book is called FACT. FACT stands for Fundamental African-Centered Thought. The subtitle is Lessons and Solutions for African People. So if you put in FACT, F period, A period, T period, G period, you'll be able to find the book. And then I'll send you the link so that you can post that.
Okay, all right. Definitely, man. I definitely want to.
And when the audiobook is done, that's probably going to be available on OffTheCorner.net only. So
nice.
That'll be an exclusive for the Off the Corner heads. That'll be an exclusive for them,
Yeah. And that's telling people right now, go to OffTheCorner.net. They had built that for years. That website's still up and running. Social commentary, the hip hop we love, you know what I mean, the culture, and the audiobook will be available only on OffTheCorner.net. when that drops.
That's correct. That's correct. And the soundtrack also is going to be available on OffTheCorner.net as well. So
Nice.
I will keep you posted when that goes up online. I will keep you posted on that. So we can tweet it out and promote that as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, brother. Man, it was good to catch up with you. Yeah, there's the book. There's the book, y'all. So you can get a visual of it as well.
Exactly. That's what the cover looks like right there. And big up to Sam's son. He did the artwork for the cover as well.
Big up to Sam's son, man. Yo, we were talking when we did our interview, and I was telling him when I first, before we did the interview, I played the first album, the community service. And
that's when
I mixed. And just hearing it again with a different ear, because it came out, I think, 2013.
I think that's right.
2013, 2014. So just hearing it now, older and just more connected to, especially yourself and what's really going on. Not playing the politics game anymore because we know what's that about. Knowing what this country is really about, and just hearing the lyrics and the lessons he spits on those songs. Yo, I'm telling you, everybody in the chat was like, yo, this album is dope. Yo, this dude is nice, this and that. And I'm just sitting back like, it sounded so fresh to me. Like it was, like I heard it for the first time. But I heard it with a newer ear, and it was even doper.
Exactly, yeah, it's fresh because you haven't listened to it in a while. So it's almost like you're hearing it for the first time, although you heard it before. And I think this next forthcoming album is going to be even better than that one. Imagine that.
Oh yeah. I heard the tracks already on it. I'm planning to do the cuts off of songs and stuff. So yeah, this one will be the hit one right here.
Yeah, and shout out to Finster too. He did all the production, and it's come out real good, man. Good stuff. So yeah, everybody should be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be a good album. So he's got another album coming. Then he's doing the soundtrack to the book. So all of that good music is coming. And hip hop for revolutionary art. Hip hop for social change. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. I think it's time for that kind of music to come back into the spotlight. Yeah, mainstream and be accepted again. I remember late '80s, like you talked to Brother Jay recently. You had your X-Rams, you had your Public Enemy, and Poor Righteous Teachers, Jungle Brothers, and the list is all Brand Nubian. You had a whole bunch of acts, and it was just a thing. Like I mean, it's funny. I remember years ago, it was the thing to have like Brand Nubian first album, One for All, but then it was also a big thing to have like certain books. You know what I mean? Like books are not part of the culture like that, like they used to be. So hopefully with the advent of my book, we begin to bring some of the books back into the culture, and it'd be a thing to be able to have the latest book and everyone has these kind of conversations. Yeah. So that's what we need to elevate.
That's a fact. It should be just important to have it. It's cool to have books, you know what I mean? Like just it's cool to be smart, not to be dumb and ignorant. Like,
Yeah.
It's
when we were coming up, it was cool to be smart. It's changed now.
Yeah, drastically. For the worse.
Yeah.
And it's proven that it's for the worse, So hopefully 2021 with, the soundtrack, Samsung's album, more other things in the works with Off the Corner and FULLBLAST we're gonna stay connected and doing a lot more stuff too. Some more shows as well. We're gonna hopefully we'll get to launch our own show or continue it, you know what I mean, like we've been doing.
Off the Corner Radio. I'm just trying to get some of this book stuff out of the way, and then we can get back to it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I just want to big you up again, man. Always, you know what I'm saying? Positive dude, and like I said, man, we've been like day one. You know what I mean? Like my brother, I love you, and I want to tell people that, while we still here, because you never know, man. The world is crazy.
Yeah, likewise. It was mutual since we were 16. It's been a long time.
Facts, man. So. Big up to you, man, and like I said, send me that link. I'll be promoting it. I got a show at 8 o'clock. I did a mashup with Grap Lover and Pete Rock's Beats, and
nice.
Grap's part of the tribe too. Grap came in during my Pete Rock versus Eric Sherman song. Like I was doing like a mix, and he came in that months ago, and ever since then he's been rocking with us. And so another good dude, man, and really underrated. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
He got his album Sounds of Mount Vernon, man, and he got some dope beats on there too that I use for this blend. So
okay. Is that new? I'm not familiar with that one.
Sounds of Mount Vernon. Yeah, he said. I think he released it. If I'm not mistaken, I think he said last year. It's on his Bandcamp.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah.
So I'll look for
So
that.
it's
I'll look
all
for that.
like an
That's good stuff.
instrumental album. Yeah,
Oh, nice, nice. That's good stuff. I remember the stuff he did with Pete Rock in the beginning.
yeah. Oh yeah. I and
Yeah.
I. And you know that Senator
I
of
know.
Attention. That album was.
Stand up attention.
That album is a bootleg. It was never released, and it wasn't even the name of that album wasn't called The Center of Attention.
Really?
Yeah, he like dropped a bomb during an interview. People were like, "What? Are you kidding me?" Yeah. So even the song listing, the titles, it's not even how it went. So that album was
Really?
never officially released. Yeah.
Because you know it's funny. I was down in Atlanta, and I was at it's like almost like a flea market, and I found someone selling that. I bought it. I got that out.
Yeah. Yeah. He said it.
I would have to.
He read where I think it was one of the most bootleg hip hop albums ever.
I believe that. I believe that. And so wait, it never. So wait, the label never released the album.
No.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Because I got the album, and I know it was never released. But wow, I didn't know why it didn't get released.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he touches on that in the interview. So it's dope.
Oh,
Still a
so
dope album, man.
yeah, I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
All right, brother. Man, once again, thank you. I know you said you got a call, right?
Yeah, I got another one in like right now, so I gotta go ahead and jump off.
Okay.
Do that.
All right, brother. Yo, salute to you, man. We'll be in touch. You already know. Ralo, yo, go cop the book. Fact, I will put the link. Send me the link. I'll put it in the chat before I end the live, so they can get it
Nice.
and check it out. And,
Nice. So I'll do that now.
All right, brother.
All right, bro. Thanks for bringing me on, man.
Yo, anytime.
All
Man.
right, for sure, for sure.
Peace.
All right, peace.
Apologize for the static in the background. We had some audio issues, but I still wanted to do that interview with him, so I thought it was important. So big up to everybody, yo. Appreciate y'all. I found it. Here we go, y'all.